Hello, my wonderful scrappy friends. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me once again on Net Scraps. And today we are working on day 17 of Christie's Beautiful Life. Now, we have been working on this for a little while. I did release a video that's got all of the days because they are all made. I just have not edited all the videos, and I have not got to uploading them, obviously, because they're not edited. Duh. And so I do apologize. They are coming bit by bit. I am working my way through it, but it is going to take me a little while with work and everything else going on around me. Today's sketch is by Carrie Simmons, and it's this very beautiful sketch here. So we've got the photo in the center there, a tag, a little kind of border strip on the bottom, and some embellishments on the top left side. And I am going to work around that as well. So that's what I'm hoping to do, something very similar to that. I've seen heaps of people using the beautiful Halloween collection from Close to My Heart. I have purchased the sticker sheet and the papers, and I am dying to get into this. So although most of these sketches I have used old stock for, these ones, this is it. I'm going to crack open this collection and use it. Now you'll see me going through a few of those dress up photos of my kids, and ultimately I decide to do this one that is them dressed as pirate-ish, and it has a little bit of red in it. And the red doesn't quite go with that melon paper, but as we work through this layout, I'm going to try to bring in a little bit of red and correct that just a little bit. This collection is so cute with all those little frames and the little bottles of potions and poisons and that black dotty paper, and who couldn't use that black and white dotty paper, because it's just like a standard yes please in any collection. I'm trying to figure out what I am going to do, and I'm going to start off by making the tag, which is I'm going to do out of this melon stripe here. And I cut that up, and I'm going to cut that roughly to what I think. Now I've got no measurements here, and you'll see as I go along I just kind of use a guide with my finger and make a mark and cut it off and hope for the best. That's the way I do it. I know some people would kind of measure the area and make it, you know, a certain length. I just kind of go, yeah, about there, that will do. I've trimmed off those corners. Now I always trim it uneven. I try. If anybody's got any good tips for that, please leave them in the comments below, because I definitely need some good tips for that. Here I'm punching a hole and going to add that to the tag. I'd love to hear if you've been following along with this series that I'm doing, or whether you have just seen this is your first episode or second episode of the series, and what you think. Please leave comments below. I love getting your comments. I love getting your feedback on what I'm doing. I love when people just pop in there and say hello. So yeah, if you have a chance, pop it in the comments and let me know. Let me know what you'd like to see, what you don't like seeing, things like that. It's all interesting to me. Now this cute paper with the cats and the tombstones on, I'm going to use as well to pop that photo up on, and that the actual sketch has lots of layers, so I'm trying to replicate that, bringing in those lots of layers, but obviously there's a lot of pattern there, so I'm going to pop a white mat under all that, just to make sure that that photo is the standout thing that is going on the page. So I'm just, again, you'll see I take a couple of swipes at that because I don't really measure it. I just, you know, there's about good. And we will go in and adjust that a little bit later too. I make it a little bit different. Oh, obviously still not quite happy with that size, so going in again. Okay. That is pretty much the foundations of my page. I haven't got a base piece yet. I will bring that in shortly and add that to the pile. And I use that black dotty piece there, which is so pretty. Now, when I finished editing this video and having a look at it, I kind of went, it could have just gone on black. It really didn't need to do it on that dotty bit, but this is what I did, so we're sticking with it. Now what I'm doing is just writing down the measurements where I want to gut on that page, and then I'm going to bring my trimmer in. I'm going to gut the center because I like that paper so much. I really don't want to waste it by being layers that you aren't going to see. So what I've done is I've written down how many inches from each side I'm going to need to cut in, and then I'm working my way around that and taking that centerpiece out so I can use it somewhere else down the line. So it's a really good trick if you can do that with your papers and save a little bit, especially those ones that you really do like. Nothing's getting cheaper nowadays, so if we can save a little bit of money by you know, making our paper stretch a little bit further, that is a great thing. I'm going to blend all the edges of the papers I have cut with the black soot, and that just adds just that extra little layer to each of the items on the page. I especially liked how the blending worked on this melon piece here. It really made it work with the other papers really well. Not that it didn't, it went perfectly with the other papers anyway, but even more so. And then I'm going to attach those pieces down. So first off, attaching that base paper with the kitty cats and tombstones on it, and then going ahead and doing the other pieces as well. Have you used the beautiful collection? Have you got into it? Have you made a layout? If you have, I would love to see. There's two places you can leave. You can leave comments on my YouTube, but you can also head over to my Facebook page and you can leave comments and photos there for me to see over there, and that's where I share a lot of my crafty journey as well. I'm going to try bringing the zip strip here and use that along the bottom. I sit it there for a little while, but you'll see in a moment I actually kind of discard it for this little strip that's so cute. It's got little pumpkin lanterns on it and is just gorgeous. So I first of all think I'm going to layer it up, but then it gets pushed to the side and yep, go on. Now, I was saying earlier on, my photos have that little bit of red in them, and as I go along I'm looking for things that I can do to bring in a bit more of the red. So I've got some candy apple paper that I'm going to bring in. I'm going to pop that zip strip up on that and make that have a very fine red border. I think my camera has this as a little bit more orange, but it definitely is candy apple and definitely is red. So I'm going to use that, and that's just one place that I'm bringing in that red. I then decide that with my photo I should do exactly the same and layer that up. So I've got that on a border, but then what happens is that that photo is actually a little bit too long for the white. So I'm going to trim that at the bottom and make that fit, but I'm also going to add a piece of red onto that tag. So now I've got a few highlights of that red around, and it's making that red look not quite so out of place on my photos. I'm popping just a little bit of foam behind those photos as well and popping them so they're up a little bit and even more of a feature on the page. Now all the fun things start to happen, so I'm going to bring in some stickers and embellishments and start embellishing the page, which is always the most fun little bit of a layout, really. I've got all these little bottles and I think they work well with the pirate sort of theme as well as being Halloween and potions. And then I've also got this title that says Halloween Cutie. Now I'm going to tell you right off, I do have a problem with this title because Halloween Cutie kind of is saying one of them's cute and the other one's not. It should say Halloween Cuties, but I guess, you know, it doesn't, so I've got to live with that. So I've put it on there and think that maybe I can make an S or something and add it there. And then I thought that I wanted foam tape on the Halloween part. So I trimmed that off and trimmed it nice and neatly and foam taped that up. But I kept coming back to it going, I'm just not 100% happy with that. But I'll kind of move on while I'm stewing over that, and I put a little bit of foam tape onto a few bottles and I place them lightly there. So these things are just sort of sitting there. They're not stuck down at the moment. They're just kind of sitting there resting while I make up my mind what I want to do. I bring in some candy corn, which we don't actually have in Australia, but I do like that sort of light, brighter orange to red that is on the bottom of that. So I kind of ignore the fact that we don't have candy corn in Australia and put that on there. Now that's where the cutie just got the better of me and I moved that away, and then I've moved that Halloween all over to the right, and I'm much like happier like that positioning with the Halloween. It seems to go with the photo well and works for me. Bring in this little candelabra, and then I decide I want a few more layers. So I bring in some foam tape to put behind the candles on the candelabra, and then I use the thinner foam tape to tape up a couple of the other little bits and pieces around that page. So you'll see me lifting those candles up just slightly, and I'm scurrying around looking for scissors and foam tape and placing them on. And with the candles there, they were kind of blending into the background, and that was causing me a few issues with that. And then you can see these ones, they're much lower, this foam tape, than the other style I had there. I'm trying to use up lots and lots of different foam tapes and bits and pieces from my stash and not buying in new stuff all the time. So I'm trying to get rid of a lot of dregs from a lot of different places during this series. These are just two little candies that were there too, and I thought that went really well down the bottom in that little sprinkling. And I've nearly finished that little ensemble of things down the bottom, and I'm nearly 100% happy down there. I'm going to put that spider I put on a little string because he's just sitting there at the moment, not actually dangling. So he's got his little string. And then the one thing from the sketch that I know I haven't done yet here on the layout is up in that top left hand corner, there's a little embellishment cluster that they've got on that sketch. So I'm starting to think about that and bringing that in, and rather than putting it right up in the corner though, I'm going to put it on the edge of that cat paper, and then it will make a triangle within that paper and won't be taking your eye to the outside of that paper. So here I'm putting a little bit of foam tape on, and then think I need another little bit of red so that it matches in with the two bits of red I've got in other places. So I pop that on and then distress it a little bit because it was a little bit too neat for my liking, and I'm going to give it a little bit of blending as well. So all that's going in that corner, but I'm still not 100% happy, and I'm still looking for something else to go in there as well. And eventually I find, what do I find? I think I find a skull and crossbones or something. I do try this kind of framey bit there, thinking that might work, but yeah, that got canned pretty quick. Still looking on that sheet. There is so many cute details. Yes, I did. I found a skull and crossbones to do, and I've blended that, and I'm going to pop him up there in the corner as well. Just move a few things around and make room for him. So guys, this is very, very close to the very end of it. We're going to do a slow down in a second, but after the slow down, believe it or not, I go, I didn't put a bow in that on that tag. So please forgive that. I didn't put the bow on at the time, but you will see a still photo right at the end, and that is of the bow that I did add later. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me. I hope you've enjoyed this layout. Please leave a comment, hit the subscribe button, all those things. And even if you don't do any of those things, I hope you have a fantastic, marvelous, wonderful day. Get scrappy, guys. Love yous. Bye.